I wanted to stop by and talk about something that I'm super passionate about: generational dysfunction and generational well-being. Um, let's just say that it's not something that's just common for me to see. Anybody is capable of seeing this throughout our communities, families, other people we interact with, hurting other people, passing the buck on down, and acting like that is the only way. That's just the way it is. And I am here to challenge that, because here are two things we love to tell ourselves. And when I say we, I mean like society in general. It is what it is, and I turned out just fine. And let me tell you, having that challenged to me in the past, because I would say it, would be really triggering to me, because it was offensive that I would be challenged on this. But guess what? Guess what happens when you take a moment to sit back and like think about it a little bit and let it just sink in, simmer on the back burner, and see what comes up. And what's come up for me is that these are possibly the worst stories I can tell myself to believe in the current reality that I'm seeing. Because that is all it is. Those are thoughts that help me say that what I'm seeing and the perception that I have on things is okay. We do with the best that we can with what we know. But as soon as we're able to acknowledge that maybe what we know isn't working and that we could possibly try something else, we've awakened ourselves to taking a different path. And at that point, now it's a choice. It's literally a conscious choice to continue on with what's not working and just keep going on that same wheel over and over again. It's called insanity, to think you're going to get a different result. And quite frankly, especially as a parent, it's just irresponsible. I'm going to get on a tangent here for a second. I do have a little bit of notes, but I'm going to get on a tangent here for a second. So many people think that just because they produced a human life, that they are now growing, that they now know things, and that they now deserve respect and whatever. Do you know what I'm getting at here? But that popping out a baby, sure, you're the biological parent, but parenting that human being to be able to go out into the world and to be able to handle themselves in the world and to be able to help others in the world, to be able to function healthy, that is a parenting skill that takes a great deal of effort and thought and compassion and good intention behind it. And so many people feel that, well, I gave birth to you, I gave you life. I made sure that there was food in the house sometimes and that you had a roof over your head. I took care of those basic necessities, and they feel like they won an award for that shit. And I'm sorry, but not sorry. There's so much more to it than that. And trust me, I look back at the earlier years with my kids, and I wish that I had loved myself more and had more self-awareness of my own demons and my own shadow work that needed to be done, so that I could have been even more there for my kids. Now, granted, I was there for my kids. I didn't leave them home alone for days on end to fend for themselves. I was there for my kids. My kids know that I'm there for them. But we always can do better, right? Okay, so that's just a little tangent that I have, because when we just say it is what it is, or I turned out fine, those seriously are the worst stories we can give ourselves. And the reason why is because we have no accountability in that kind of a story. In that reality, it's just what it is, and there's nothing you can do about it. It allows us to just throw down the victim card or the flag or whatever and be like, I don't know, screwed. It is what it is. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. And it just literally passes the buck on to the next generation to also have to bear that cross and to also try to figure their shit out. And so this is the challenge that I am putting out there to whoever cares. If you don't give a shit, if you're listening to this and you think I'm stupid, swipe on. There are tons of people out there to listen to, and not everybody is going to give a shit to listen to me, and I don't care. There's a ton of people out there that I don't care to listen to. I only care about the few that I do care to listen to. So just take that. You could either pass on hate, question yourself on why, or you could just be like, not interested, and carry on. I have lots of tangents right now. So here's the challenge. I challenge you to make a firm statement that the buck ends here with us. You, me, whoever's listening to this. The buck ends here. We're not passing this dysfunction on to our kids. We want better for our children. We want better. That doesn't mean that we want them to have more Christmas presents under their tree. We want them to have more clothes or more shoes or a better car. That's not going to bring happiness. There are so many rich people out there who have all the things in the world. They can buy whatever. They don't have to worry about eating or anything, and they're not happy. That's not knowing yourself, knowing your passions, taking care of the things that have hurt you, having the skills to process your emotions, all of them, because many of us have learned, especially in America, I don't know about other places, that there's a lot of emotions that are unacceptable to share. And we are seeing a turn in the way the world works that's getting to be less of a thing, but we want to be able to share this with our kids. Our community is the sum of its individuals. I say this all the time. My vision of this group, Doyen Pride, of all these badass women who are all contributing their little pieces to the group that make it even better, to help us with the upward spiral. The community is the sum of its individuals. It's individuals. So the quality of those individuals creates the community and the world in which we live in. And so personal development is so important. It spreads out. Just one person getting in better touch with themselves and stop being so hateful or despaired and anxious and stressed and is able to bring more peace to the world. It ripples all around them. It affects their children, their loved ones, all around. When we commit to being better, I mean that in the sense of healthier, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, no matter what your spiritual beliefs are. I'm talking about like with yourself, your oneness with yourself, coming back to who you truly are instead of the imposter that you may have grown up being to fit in to the stories that you grew up around, to be able to be yourself so that you're not constantly feeling like you're living a lie or you're living less than or whatever is keeping you back. Acknowledge your shit, heal your shit, and pass that legacy on. That is what I challenge you. And if you're having issues with that, one thing I recommend is The Big Leap, because he talks about the upper limit problem. I think of it more as an upper limit challenge because we box ourselves in mentally with these stories, and whenever we try to get out of that box, we literally will self-sabotage ourselves. And this is a big help with that and the 4 Agreements, which is also a great book. So do it. What can you do today?